Hello, I'm Dr. Wickham Simonds, and I'm an obesity medicine specialist in the Triangle area of North Carolina, and this is Obesity Medicine Perspective. So when you see this video, if you're watching it when we post it, it will be the week of Christmas. Now, some of you may see it next summer. You may see it next spring. That's okay. It's all right. You can use these concepts I'm talking about right here any time of year, but I'm just reminding you of them at this time of Christmas. So number one, Merry Christmas. For those of you who don't celebrate the Christian tradition of Christmas, happy holidays. I hope it all goes well for you, and I hope it's a good time for you and your family. So I want to talk about a couple diet concepts that are important during this time. And the first thing I want to address is the idea of tradition. And most people who come to my office will tell me they have these traditions, and they have a hard time letting these traditions go in many cases. They really kind of think that these times are times that they can backslide on their diet and do a bunch of things that they should not do in the name of tradition, because that's okay, and that's the way they were brought up, and that's the way they were taught, and so on and so forth. So the number one point I'm going to make here is that, look, traditions aren't always right. And you don't have to follow, just because you learned something in the past doesn't mean that it was the right way to do it. So I'm old enough now to remember a time in this country when I was a child where everyone smoked, and it wasn't considered bad to smoke. And in fact, those that are older than me can tell you that it was very, very common. Their parents smoked. They smoked in the house. They wouldn't even go outside to smoke. They smoked on airplanes. Everyone was smoking. And this was tradition. And smoking was tradition, right? And so a lot of people, because they saw their parents do it, when they were teenagers, they started smoking. And then they smoke after every meal, and they had a lot of fond memories of the family getting together and eating meals and then having a smoke and getting together and talking while they smoked. Well, that's a tradition. Was that a good tradition? No, it's an unhealthy tradition. And now a lot of people over time woke up to the fact that that's not a good idea, that actually causes disease, and they stopped it. Now, that's the way it is with sugar and flour and all the sweet things and so forth that we eat and drink at Christmas. And just because people have done it in the past does not mean that it's the right thing to do, and doesn't mean that it won't produce disease in your body. So I highly encourage you to examine your traditions, your feelings about them, and to start reprogramming your mind. I assure you that when the three wise men showed up at the manger scene at the birth of Jesus, there was no candy there. There was no eggnog. There was none of that sort of thing, okay? There was gold, frankincense, and myrrh by the historical record, and none of those things do you eat. So you don't have to do all this stuff that in the name of tradition that harms your body and it's going to make you gain weight. So that's the number one point. The number 2 point, make a plan. I've talked about this before. If you're going over to the family get-together or whatever it is to celebrate Christmas, maybe it's a Christmas party, it could be, any of that kind of setting, and there's going to be food and drink involved. You make a plan in your mind before you go of what you're going to have, what that's going to look like, what restraints you're going to put on yourself. You know yourself well, and you need to go ahead and make a battle plan, because if you think it through first, or even jot it down on a little note card, that's exactly what you'll do. That's exactly what you'll do. So the 2 points again in summary is, number one, examine your traditions. Are they right or wrong? Am I doing this the right way or no? And number 2, make a battle plan. Make a battle plan for the holiday. Don't let it get out of hand. So until we talk the next time, I'll give you the tools, you give me the effort, and together we'll overcome obesity.